Hey guys, RedPandaMining here. Hope you're doing well, having a really great day. This video, I want to go through some new Bitcoin ASIC miner announcements from Bitmain at their WDMS, or aka World Digital Mining Summit, that happened in Vegas just yesterday as of recording here. I have been sent a lot of screenshots and pictures and information regarding Bitmain's new models here. I just want to do that in this video for anyone that's interested in Bitcoin mining. There's been a lot of new announcements of, Bitmain models this year, and that's something that I want to just, reference. And I kind of feel bad for a lot of people who have been ordering, maybe the previous models this year when, now they just announced a new model, which is obviously now more efficient. So we're going to talk about some previous history here and of course talk about the new models in this video. So before I do all of that good stuff, thank you to CryptoMinerBros.com for sponsoring today's video. If you guys are looking for any types of ASIC miners, feel free to go check them out. Link down below. Also use coupon code RedPanda for $50 off if you are interested. All the prices that you see on their website is all in pricing, include shipping and DDP to your door. Link down below to all the top ASIC miners. Okay, so WDMS. I was not there, but thank you to one of my friends, BC, for sending me a lot of screenshots here, photos and whatnot of a lot of different miners that were announced here. I guess Bitcoin miners that were announced at WDMS. Really cool. We're going to go through a lot of these screenshots here on the announcement of the S21 XP. And look at that. It's got a little screen on it. Look at that. 273 terahash. Okay, look at that. That is insane. That is really cool that there's now a screen on here. I like that. I like that. So what was announced at WDMS here was these 4 ASIC miners, or I guess 3 actually. There is the XP Hydro, okay, S21 XP Hydro, okay, which does 473 terahash at 5,676 watts, or that's a 12 joules per terahash efficiency. Okay, then we have the Bitmain S21 XP Immersion normal mode, okay, which does 300 terahash at 4,050 watts, 13.5 joules per terahash, or watt per hash. Then they have the air-cooled one, the normal one, the S21 XP for, I guess, residential miners. It's going to be 270 terahash at 3,645 watts, or that is a 13.5 joules per terahash, watt per hash efficiency there. Okay, pretty cool. Then they have the S21 XP Immersion, but high energy mode, which does 380 terahash, but at 5,700 watts, but it's very efficient at 15 joules per terahash, or watt per hash. Okay, so there are, yeah, you can see, of course, there's other ASIC models, other Bitcoin miners that have been released late last year, 2023, that were announced, and of course they've been out now. So you can see the efficiency gain here from these models up until the new announcement here is, I'd say, a pretty decent jump in terms of efficiency, and actually even, the amount of hash rate that these models do. Okay, so the S21 XP model here, okay, it looks like this. Now, I don't know. We did look at this on a live stream just for a little bit. I don't know if these are 140 mil fans or 120 mil fans. Kind of does look like these are 140 mil fans. So it does look like this unit is a little bit wider. It doesn't seem like it's a little bit wider. It does seem like that. It has micro USB. It's got the reset button, IP report, Ethernet, and that they have a little tape over the screen. So there was a screen picture earlier. I'll show that in a second. Indicator lights, fault, and normal, and switch display. There's a switch display button. Okay, so that's look at that right there, switch display. And then this part here is are the fans for the front, and there's of course fans in the back as well. So interesting, pretty cool. Then they have the this is the S21 Immersion. Okay, look at that, S21 IMM here, and then a period. So this one shows here it says 239 terahash. I'm not sure if I'm reading that right, 239T. So maybe this is like a pre-production model, but look. This is meant for immersion, okay? Dunking it in some sort of tank, and you can see the handles here. That's how you just, plop it into an immersion tank. So that's a model which I think not many home miners are gonna do. This is gonna be for like big boy industrial immersion tank miners that are out there. But granted, there are some home miners that, do this type of thing, but I'm assuming this is going to be a 3-phase power unit. So residential miners may not have, probably don't have 3-phase power at home. I mean, okay, this thing could take, 4,050 watts. Okay. But if there is a high immersion high mode at 5700 watts, I mean, that could still technically run on a 30 amp 240 volt, but it depends. I don't know what the voltage is going to be on this thing, so that's interesting to note there. But looking at here, okay, some screenshots of the event. Okay, you guys can see this is what happened over here. BC, thank you for these photos again. This happened in Vegas. Okay, pretty cool, pretty cool. So look at this, fresh hydro cooling, joyous summer gathering. Okay, I see. All right, going along here. Energy efficiency optimized by more than 6 times, increased by over 18 times. So you can see here 2018, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2023. They have the different S19 models, S19 XP, S21 Hydro. I do want to refer to this in a second, as I feel bad, again, feel bad for the people that ordered a lot of these, like, you know, models this year, and then they come out with a bombshell of like pretty high, I'd say pretty big efficiency gain here and hash rate gain on the new S21 XP here. But anyways, whether or not that's going to be reliable, I think the S21, the S19 XPs didn't have great reliability. So I'm not sure if that's going to carry over to the S21 XP. Who knows? But here are some more screenshots here, and talking about, okay, so apparently they might have like a coupon thing here, $21, 21.5 terahash after coupon. So I did write the price here for the hydro. I didn't see prices for, I guess, the immersion or air cooled one, but I think it's going to be about over $10,000 for the S21 XP hydro. So 473 terahash, $10,000. That is insane. That is a lot. Okay, so they said that after coupon. All right, delivery each month of it says starting in Q4 of this year or Q1 of 2025. Okay, so that's coming out the end of this year apparently. So moving along here, some more screenshots going along. Okay, so here's the efficiency. We already talked about this of the S21 XP immersion. Just showing you the screenshots here. Okay, so here's a screenshot with the screen. Okay, so look at this, right? They got a little screen at the top here, which I think is pretty cool. That's good to have a little screen there to show what the hash rate that this thing could get. So I do like that. S21 XP. All right, pretty cool. Here's a larger shot for this. BC, again, thank you, my friend, for covering this stuff and sending it to me. And yeah, you know, the more I look at it, this looks like a 140 mil. Yeah, like a 140 mil fan. You guys let me know down below. The more I look at it, they're using the new S21 power plug. All right, a new cable as well. Yeah, I forgot what the what it's called, but look at this next screenshot. S21 XP Hydro. Looks like another. Yeah, it looks like the Hydro models. Yeah, look at that. They have like the water cooling tubes going in and out of it. Okay, here we go. This is the Hydro version. Okay, here's a better picture of the Hydro versions. So previously, the previous Hydro models of previous years, it looks pretty much the same, I'd say. I've personally never had or seen one of these in person. So, but it's good to see a photo of the Hydro like this, S21 XP Hydro. But the monster, 473 terahash. Okay, that is quite the monster ASIC miner here. It's got the Ethernet in front, SD card, IP report, and yeah, all the water cooling tubes, I guess, going into the ASIC chips for Bitcoin mining. Okay, and then here's an S21 XP Hydro screenshot, okay, of the web GUI. So this thing, man, 485 terahash. Wow, that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. 485 terahash. I mean, man, look how far these things have come from, I guess, the previous Hydro models, which were like, what, 200 or something, 300 at most or something. And then here comes this guy's almost like 500 terahash. But of course, it's going to use, you know, over 5,000 watts, 5,600 watts on this Hydro model, which is utterly insane, but hey, pretty cool. And unfortunately, these are all going to be run on 3-phase power. I know that this will not be able to run on single phase. I know that the Hydro models are meant for 3-phase power. So that's not going to bode well for home miners. But yeah, 12 joules per terahash. That's very efficient, right? You guys can see the efficiency gain here. Okay, now I wanted to talk about just how Bitmain now has been releasing these units quite fast over the past year, announcing new units like, you know, the S21, which came out in January of 2024. You know, those units were starting to ship out, and then now it's June, And there is a June batch of S21s that have come out during this month as well that people have pre-ordered for maybe, you know, under $3,500 or something like that. You know, it's interesting that with the efficiency gain here from 17.5 to 13.5, you know, it's a good 4 points in efficiency, right? 4 joules per terahash, pretty much within a span of a year, right? From the S21 advertised hash rate and efficiency to the S21 XP. Now, I'm going to assume the S21 XP, similar to the S21, I don't know, I'm just guessing that environment is going to play the part. And this thing is, you know, if it's going to be a hotter environment, that this is probably going to have, it's going to pull more power because there's going to be more resistance as there's going to be more heat. So that will be an interesting thing to test. I'll be probably getting one by the end of this year if it does come out, and to compare that. But just to have some empathy here for those that have been buying, you know, the previous models over the past year. You know, there's been a lot of models from Bitmain that has been announced over the past year, and it's just incredible how this has turned out, in my opinion. The past year, there's been a lot of, you know, ASIC manufacturers, not only Bitmain, but MicroBT, WhatsMiner, Auradine. I'm not sure. I've never seen one in the flesh. Let's see, Canon, Avalon models. There's one that's announced for that, but it's like 18.5 joules per terahash. So, you know, there's a lot of these ASIC miners that have been coming out, and then Bitmain just comes out, announces this mid-year, and says that these are going to come out Q4 end of this year or Q1 of 2025. But it's just, looking at this just tells me like previous experience from when times were, you know, let's say the S19s, you know, back then, you know, 4-5 years ago, the S19 Pro 110 terahash model came out May 2020. And these were almost, I think these were like 29 joules per terahash. Okay, S19 Pro, 29.5 joules per terahash. So that was 4 or 5 years ago, right? And so now going, as we went along, you can see incrementally the efficiency gain on when Bitmain was releasing these models, it was going up in like, you know, down 2 more joules per terahash, 3 more joules per terahash, you know, S19 J Pro 104 terahash models. Actually, a year and a half later, it's still the same efficiency. Actually, just looking at the release dates, May 2020 and then June 2021, a good year or so until that, you know, efficiency jump, which was really the same, July 2021 for the S19 J Pro 104. So it wasn't a big gap there, but then, you know, going along, you know, a couple months later, later at the end of the next year, actually, sorry, Hydro models were starting to come out. The S19 XP came out the next year, July of 2022. S19 XP was a considerable jump a year later. Okay, so from the S19 J Pros to the S19 XP, so that was 29.5 joules per terahash, and then an S19 XP advertised normally does 22.8. So that was a good 5 or 6 joules per terahash gain there, like a year later, okay, for the S19 XP in 2022. But going along, as time went on, another year went past, S19 J Pro Plus, but then another, you know, couple months later, the S19K Pro came out, April 2023. Now, this was a Bitcoin miner I'd say a lot of people have gotten into. The S19K Pro was one that was getting about 23 joules per terahash. Okay, but it was and that was also a good price as well against like the S19 XP. All right, so that's why a lot of people were getting into these. Again, S19 XP I don't think has a great track record. A lot of people had some issues with these, but just stating the fact that, you know, incrementally as we went along by year, Bitmain was releasing these. So S19K Pro, you know, mid to end of 2020, pretty much all the way through 2024, I'd say S19K Pros were being manufactured in mass, and a lot of people were buying these models, right? I know a lot of mining farms that bought these, regular residential miners bought these as well, and yeah, a popular ASIC miner that did 23 joules per terahash. But then, lo and behold, the S21 started coming out in January of 2024. Okay, so pretty much I'd say a good year and a half. Then that's when we started seeing Bitmain announcing, yeah, their S21 here, and it does about from 16 to 19 joules per terahash. It depends how the ambient temperatures really do play the part. I had an S21 testing, and I was getting 204 terahash at 3,800 watts, but 19 joules per terahash. And then I did low power mode on S21, but with a much lower environment temperature, 160 terahash, 2590 watts. That's a 16.1 joules per terahash. So that was really good for its time. But then here we are today, okay, as these were coming out this year, it's June 2024, as recording this video. These S21s are now going to compete against the Bitmain S21 Pro, announced for July, so next month, 234 terahash, 3,500 watts. And then today, or yesterday, as I'm recording this video, they announced the S21 XP. So whether or not these are going to be reliable, that begs the question. We're not sure. And then, yeah, the efficiency gain here is, yeah, from the other XP models, S19 XP, which came out in July of 2022. So 3 years later is now, or 2.5 years later, the S21 XP model is coming out, and it's going from 22 joules per terahash for S19 XP, 22.8 joules per terahash down to 13.5. That's a pretty much 9 or 10 joules per terahash of efficiency gain there within 2.5 years. That's a big jump. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, guys. That's all I wanted to talk about in this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts. And yeah, it's just an interesting time right now, especially after the Bitcoin halving. I did want to touch on, other models that are out there as well. Kind of gives perspective, if Bitcoin's price stays relatively where it is now for a while, and as more and more of these, Bitcoin miners do come on, the network hash rate rises, difficulty rises, it's going to push out a lot of the people that have older models, inefficient models for mining. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, Bitcoin is a really competitive game now, I'd say, for a lot of commercial, industrial miners. For residential miners, it's a hard sell now, because your electricity rate, as home residential miners are having higher electrical costs, and it's not doing too well for, depending on your electrical costs. As you can see, a 10-cent kilowatt hour, which I'm going to say is majority of a lot of, not majority, a very small amount of people that have under 10 cents now, residential. You can see, like 10-cent kilowatt hour, S19 XP is not making anything. There's breaking even at 10 cents right now. So it just goes to show, the efficiency gain of these newer models is going to be quite, it's quite a big difference. And it's going to be hard to say how many of these are going to manufacture and how many of these are going to turn on and cause the network hash rate to climb. I mean, there's a lot of big farms turning on, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of miners on megawatts of power. All right, I'll see you all on the next one. Let me know your guys' thoughts of what we talked about, and I'll see you all on the next one. Have a good one. Peace out.